Guess what today is? August 1st, which means the Super Bowl of salmon fishing has kicked off. We are open here on the Columbia River in the estuary. There's the Astoria Bridge right there. Oh, I love and hate this day so much because there's so much preparation that goes into it. And now that it's finally here, I can get down to just straight up catching fish. And that is exactly what happened today. This is probably the best opener I've ever seen. Now, let's be careful here. We have really good tides for catching fish. So, is this bite going to continue all the way through the next week or two when the tides aren't quite as good? We'll see. That being said, today we had over 30 bites, no BS. We landed probably 20 some odd fish, but half of them were jacks. So before you get all excited, half of them were really little guys, but that means that the recruitment here for next year is looking excellent. We ended up getting 6 fish, so we got all of our kings, but a couple of them were in that 25-inch class, so nothing to write home about. But we did get one that was in the 26 class, and that was 26 pounds. It was a stud. It was awesome. And today we were actually out there filming for my TV show, and the guys in the boat actually let me catch a fish. So my first and probably my only fish that I'm going to catch down here in Astoria at Buoy 10 was a 26-pound stud. And it was actually a pretty funny story. So we had just lost one to a harbor seal. So we were fighting it. Harbor seal came up, grabbed it. We lost that fish. I hooked that one, and I'm fighting to bring him to the boat. No big deal. And all of a sudden, he just starts scorching me and just about spools me with braid. And I'm thinking, oh man, another harbor seal. So I tighten down the drag. I put my thumb on the spool, and I'm jerking on it, trying to break it off. Man, just get off of there. I want to get back to fishing. We turn on the main motors, both of them, throw them in reverse, and we're backing down on it like it's a marlin. Get all the way back there on top of the fish. And I'm just cranking, trying to shake it off and get back there to it and look at it and go, oh, it's just a really big fish. So that was a really cool way and just a fun story to have from the opener out here. As far as where we got fish, I completely screwed up this morning. I had a game plan to start over on the Washington side up near the bridge, and I got over there. I didn't like the water temperature. I didn't see any nets right away, so I went way down river and I fished down out of Chinook. Sat there for a little while and went, boy, this doesn't feel right. I'm not marking enough fish. We should be getting bit if they're around, because opening day, don't really know where they are, what to do, how to catch them quite yet. And I made a couple phone calls and heard, guess what? Up at the bridge, they're biting. But it sounds like guys were catching fish over around Hammond at the bridge on the Oregon side. There weren't too many boats that honestly fished the Oregon side, which is odd because usually on these smaller tides, these little 2-3 foot exchanges, everyone fishes the Oregon side. I was part of that group that didn't. I just had more confidence in the Washington side because I looked at my past Buoy 10 updates, and August 1st in 2017 had this exact same tide set. So I listened to that report that I did back then. I looked at some pictures that I had from back then, and I was over on the Washington side. So use these reports as a way to look back at past tides and get an idea of where and how fish are being caught. Let's see here. What else can we go? Oh, what are we catching on? It started out being pretty much 360 flashers and the Yakima bait spinners, little 3.5 spinners. And then after about 3, 4, 5 fish on those, we were starting to think, boy, maybe we need to switch over everything to 360s with spinners. And then right after that, it went all bait, all triangles, and it was Green Machine and Red October that were getting bit really, really well for our flasher colors. That was just, it was unstoppable. And the 360 sat there and just kept thumping, and they did not get bit. So they started off strong and did really good for us in the first hour of the bite. And then after that, it went all to bait. So it was good to have both options in the boat ready to go, because the fish are going to dictate exactly what they want to bite. As far as wind during the tide, the fish were biting. We got bit on the income pretty much throughout the entire income. And then when it flipped over to outgo, nothing happened for quite a while. It was just onesie twosies. You'd see one caught here, one caught there. And then once we hit the bottom of the tide, it was game on again. And At that point, we were actually down below checkerboard when we were catching the fish at the bottom of the tide. I didn't think the tide was going to be strong enough to flush them out, but I don't know if I ran into a different group or we just ended up staying on top of the fish we were getting up by the bridge. Either way, awesome day. I'm probably going to look back on this report in about a week and go, shucks, I wish we could have that bite again. This is the best way to start off Buoy, Tim, but also the worst way because that's going to be tough to beat. I really hope, cross my fingers, that this season lasts this long, is this productive for the next 4 or 5 weeks, but time will tell. Let's see, this is the first update, so we got at least another 25, 30 more of these. Here we go, kids. Buoy 10 has started. We're going to see how long the beard gets, how much windburn I get and sunburn. I love this season. It's so much fun. If you haven't come down here and do it, make the effort. It's well worth it. All right, we'll see you guys, guess what? Tomorrow. Later.